Welcome into Zions Bank Stadium on this Wednesday evening in October for this what almost is a playoff matchup between these two sides. David Horst, I'm Landon Southwick. We'll take you along the call tonight here on ESPN. Plus, thanks for tuning in. Tonight's matchup between Austin Bold and the Real Monarchs. The Bold 1 point away from clinching a playoff berth. Monarchs already clinched. Tonight should be interesting.
And like you said, the Monarchs already clinched their playoff spot, but they still have something to play for. They are trying to clinch that extremely important home playoff game, which in this stadium could be huge for them. And then, like you said, Austin, they are fighting for their playoff lives right now. So two teams that have something to play for tonight.
And the Monarchs really have shown that they're capable of winning big games. They've been world beaters the last few weeks, having won 3 straight games against 3 straight playoff teams. And one of those playoff teams being the #1 team in the USL Championship, Phoenix Rising.
And we talked about them going down to Phoenix last week and the fact that, hey, they're going on a road trip, and if they lose this game, it's all right. But I look at the glass as half full. If they win this game, it gives them confidence going on the road at some point like they will in the playoffs. And hopefully by going down to Phoenix and getting a result, it gives them that confidence.
And let's check out the standings in the Western Conference, and it'll really give you an idea of how things have shaken out. Monarchs sitting in that 4 seed, 52 points. Right in front of them, Fresno, 57 points. And that's possible because the Monarchs have 2 games this week, tonight and Saturday, where Fresno only has 1. And we'll talk a little bit about that during the broadcast. But you can see Austin Bold, 47 points, and an opportunity to climb high tonight back up into the table. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be back with starting lineups next. America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker! I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
We're back live here in Harriman, Utah, just south of Salt Lake City. As you can see, a shot of the Ochre Mountains in the west side over there. Let's check out the starting lineup for both sides, starting with the visiting Bold.
And Austin Bold has an extremely experienced lineup. Quite a few guys that have played at the highest level throughout the world on this roster. But Andre Lima is the guy that the Monarchs are going to have to watch out for up top tonight. Currently leading the Austin Bold with 12 goals on the season. And then the defender, Sean McFarland, is the guy that has been feeding him all year. Sean McFarland likes to get high in the attack and play very good balls in.
Let's check out the starting lineup now for the Monarchs, the home side, who has had a lot of success here as of recent with a similar lineup. We last week saw a 5 in the back, but tonight's seeing a little bit of a different look.
And like you said, once again, the Monarchs throwing out a different lineup tonight. But the biggest thing is the return of Douglas Martinez to this lineup. He has led this team in every category that you can think of this year. So Can he pick up where he left off with this Monarchs team and keep that hot form? And then, of course, you got to keep your eye on Michael Chang, who in Douglas's absence has been making a lot of things happen as well, and also has been Mr. Reliable throughout this entire season for the Monarchs.
As you saw a shot of interim head coach, Jamison Alave. But here's the starting lineup as that graphic froze for a second there. Starting from left to right in the back, Noah Powder, Holtz, Kalen Ryden, Hasso. Keeper is Putna. In the midfield, you're going to have two holding midfielders, Mulholland and Blake. Up top in front of them is Arriaga. Out wide on the left side is Vasquez. On the far side, or on the near side, is Chang. And up top is Douglas Martinez. 15 goals, 6 assists for this side in 2019. And a successful run with his national team and his first cap for the senior side and scoring a goal in that game as well.
You always love to see a player that when they get those opportunities with the highest level in their country, that they go out there and they perform. And Douglas Martinez has done that. Like you said, he got his first goal for his country, which, I mean, that's for the season that he's had. I think that's just icing on the cake.
And icing on the cake for him would be to get a chance with this Monarchs team to prove that he's really capable. He's been gone for some of these big victories for the Monarchs in the last couple weeks. Like we mentioned, Monarchs have knocked off 3 straight playoff opponents in Phoenix Rising, Orange County, and Reno, with a chance tonight to make that 4.
And it's funny, it always goes back to the age-old question. Are the Monarchs better without Douglas Martinez, despite the statistics that he has and what he's done for them this year? Now, I do not think that at all, Landon, but it is kind of ironic that when he went away, they did beat 3 playoff teams. But myself, I am extremely happy to see Douglas back into the lineup tonight.
Dougie Fresh, as they call him around here, sporting a new big look up top. And we're underway as Greg Dopka blows his whistle. Monarchs are going to be moving from right to left across your TV screen. Austin Bold in their all-white kits, a nice blue trim, and stripes across their chest. Monarchs in their classic blue kits from head to toe. Austin. Kleber. We'll take a deflection. It'll be a throw-in for the Bold out wide. Swung along the back line. Moving forward, pushing it out wide. Vasquez was there. It'll be a throw-in for the Bold.
And one thing we've already seen a minute into the game, Landon, is that the Monarchs are allowing Austin to really have a lot of possession along the back.
Ball inside the mix and a foul on the Bold as Hasso goes down.
And that is something that we've seen quite a bit more from the Monarchs over the last few weeks, allowing opposing teams back 4 to have a lot more possession. And then they, as you see here in the replay, great ball into the box. But Austin Bold, a little too aggressive to start here.
But one of the things that we've seen, sometimes teams come in and let the Monarchs dictate pace right off at their home pitch, and it causes a lot of issues. Tonight you're seeing the Bolds coming out, trying to put a little bit of a string of possession together and see if they can change the flow of this game quickly.
Yeah, and the Monarchs are allowing them to have that possession, but they are staying compact and staying tight, and they have chosen that they're going to sit in their blocks tonight and be extremely difficult to break down.
Our referees for tonight, you're seeing those names up on the screen. Greg Dobka, Shane Kennard, Matthew Seam, Herman Hortal is our 4th official tonight. Ball still pinging around. Monarchs going to get possession. Noah Powder here on the near side. Noah Powder's been playing well this season. Coming over from Orange County last year. He's one of those young players that has a lot of experience, 100+ appearances in the USL Championship.
And really, he fits into what the Monarchs are trying to do here is bring in young players that have a lot of professional experience and see if they're ready to be promoted to the first team or if they still need a few more years of seasoning with the Monarchs.
So you see a shot there of Marcelo Serrano in his first season. Also the head coach of the U.S. Virgin Islands national team. Bold's going to play out wide. Back in the middle of the pitch. McFarland. He'll get it. He's a guy that you got to keep an eye on. He's an assist machine. Has been very successful. Last time these two sides met up, he actually scored a goal to go along with 2 goals from Lima. This ball's going to go wide of the nets. Putna's going to take the restart. Try to go quick, and that's going to pull back. Another shot there of Hamas and Alave, head coach, interim head coach for the Real Monarchs. Seasoned MLS veteran. Still one of the strongest men you'll ever meet.
By far the strongest soccer player I've ever met in my life.
Those guys you didn't want to clash with. But one of the nicest guys around. 4th minute of play, still scoreless between these two sides. The battle for the playoffs is on. McFarland tries to settle it. It's going to fall to Vasquez. Vasquez, goal! Julian Vasquez! His first professional goal.
And what a big goal for the young professional. Awesome bold mistake on the back line. Julian Vasquez is able to get on the end of that ball. Restrepo's kind of caught in between things, not sure if he should come out or stay back. And Vasquez with a fantastic finish inside that back post. Just squeezes it in there, and that's what you want to see from somebody with his kind of ability.
5th minute, Julian Vasquez with his first professional goal. And he's been one of those guys that Monarchs fans and Real Salt Lake fans, for that fact, have wanted to see have an opportunity.
And as we take a look at the replay here, McFarland just misplays the ball as it's coming over his head, but Vasquez keeps the pressure on and slides it inside that back post.
Ball was played by Kalen Ryden.
You gotta love when a center back gets an assist, Landon.
See if he gets credited with that assist. A dream start for the Monarchs here, as Restrepo was unable to keep that one out of the back of the nets.
But despite Restrepo not knowing if he wanted to come out or stay back, he does have a very good angle on that shot. But Vasquez, his shot is too well placed between Restrepo's outstretched leg and that back post. And, I mean, that's a world-class finish right there, Landon.
World-class is very well said. Julian Vasquez, one of those guys that, like I mentioned, the Monarchs have really, Real Salt Lake fans have wanted to see do something in the preseason earlier this year. He scored a goal in Hawaii that was really impressive, and he just maybe has taken a little bit of time to click, spent time with the Mexican youth national teams, and had some success there as well. Just hadn't had it here at Zions Bank Stadium.
Exactly. He had a very good preseason with the first team, but he's been very hot and cold, and I think it's because his playing time has been very up and down throughout the season with the Monarchs. He's never been able to get into any kind of rhythm, but he came out tonight, gets his first professional goal, so hopefully now the floodgate's kind of open for him.
7th minute of play. Possession mostly with the Bold so far. Commentator's curse there. Arriaga. He's going to play it wide, trying to find Martinez, who's been in great form recently. Sporting the orange boots tonight. Ryden. Pass was a little behind him, has to collect, plays it back to Putna. Putna has looked solid as well. USL Team of the Week for his performance against Phoenix Rising. To keep the highest scoring team to only 1 goal, and a late goal at that. Restrepo. Baez. Pick up looking for runs. He's going to take a big switch there. Tumazi tries to get on the end of it. It'll be over his head, and it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs.
I mean, if you're Baez in there and you're waving players off and then you hit that big ball, Landon, you better complete that big ball, that big switch. You better complete it if you're waving players off to play possession there. So Baez next time might want to rethink that. I don't think he realizes that we are at altitude. The ball will fly a little bit further, a little bit higher than what it normally does.
One of those challenges, and altitude will come into effect as this game gets late. One of the things that I love about Rio Tinto Stadium is the sign above the visiting locker room talking about how altitude causes altitude sickness. I think it's one of those mindset games here at Zions Bank Stadium. They show the elevation on the score on the boards right behind Putna's goal to the right side, 47.5 is the elevation here.
And most people don't realize that Zions Bank Stadium is a couple hundred feet higher than what even Rio Tinto is.
Sorry, he's pushing my guy. In the flight, he was pushing my
Ball
guy.
out wide. Chang's going to run at the defense. Chang's dangerous if you get him going. Pass cut off by Taylor. As he was trying to find Jack Blake. Ball takes a deflection. It looked like a handball there for a second. It's going to fall to the Monarchs. Back out wide to Chang. Chang is going to go in, cuts in the box, plays it across. Again cut off by Taylor for the second straight time. And the Bulls are going to try to counter, but they'll slow it up and play it along their back line. Austin Bold in their last 5 games, 2-2-1, with wins over the Timbers and the Lights. The only loss coming to El Paso. Or excuse me, the only tie coming to El Paso. Sacramento and Reno were the losses, 2 playoff teams. Lima. Aaron Ball. Vasquez is going to give it away and be called for the foul, as he knew he had to wrap up Baez there with a bad giveaway.
And I'm fine with that foul right there. They're still about 40 yards, 50 yards from goal, and they're not dangerous. You can see Vasquez could have done better on the pass, but realizes, hey, I'm in a little bit of trouble here, so I'm going to foul Baez.
Ball inside. Malice. Kleber. Malice to Baez. And Soto. Soto's pass is going to be cut off. Jack Blake trying to get a turn there. Over to Mulholland. The Monarchs kind of slowly starting to get in this game. I know they already have a goal, but really haven't felt like they've been able to connect a whole lot, but this sequence is looking better.
And they really haven't been able to impose their will or play the way that they want to play. So hopefully, like you said, they already have that early goal, but that doesn't really mean anything in the way of the game here. So can the Monarchs, can they get a hold of the game? Can they keep possession of the ball for an extended period of time and really show to Austin what they want to do? Now, unlucky on the bad giveaway there from Jack Blake, but much better possession sequence from the Monarchs.
Bold. With it out on the far side, play it back along their back line. Rissy picks up his head, plays it to McFarland. Into Baez, who's touched the ball an awfully lot so far tonight.
And Baez sits in that position where you really want a playmaker. He kind of sits in that Regista position, which is, you know, kind of a six playmaker, and he's going to see a lot of the ball. So that's one of the guys that the Monarchs are going to have to keep aware of as he kind of pulls the strings for this bold attack.
The Monarchs, as you can see, content in having their 2 solid lines defensively, allowing Martinez to sit a little higher and kind of spearhead the attack. But with a goal lead, you do have an opportunity to do a little bit more with keeping your lines clean. Hasso defending. Kleber trying to get around Mulholland. Nice tackle there by Mulholland as he's able to dispossess Kleber. Monarchs have a chance to break. So you see maybe a little bit of a young mistake there by Vasquez as you get a replay look at Mulholland's tackle.
And the young guys, they need to realize when you get chances to counterattack that way, you cannot give the balls away, because you keep giving balls away like that, then Douglas Martinez is going to eventually stop making those runs for you.
One of the things you want is to use his form that he's in, because he looks confident as all get outs. This especially in his experience here with the Monarchs. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues around the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Pace of this game has not really picked up. Even after the goal, you'd think sometimes there's urgency, but maybe it's just the calm nature of the Bold so far. There's another giveaway by the Monarchs.
And there's quite a few factors that can add to that, really. You know, the energy of the crowd, the energy of the players. It is a midweek game, which players aren't used to. They're used to the, you know, under the lights on a Saturday night, a big crowd, everybody coming out. But this is a midweek game, a little bit smaller crowd. Sometimes it's tough to get up for these games, and sometimes it shows during the match. And like you said, despite the goal, you'd expect some type of, you know, emotional reaction from one of the teams, and we really haven't seen that, and it's been quite slow going so far.
Monarchs are 5-5-2 this season on Wednesday nights, or excuse me, all time on Wednesday nights. It's not the cleanest record on those midweek games. Lima, who scored in his last game to salvage, or excuse me, to get the draw against El Paso. Holtz is able to clear. Vasquez looks to go forward. He's going to play in Dougie Fresh. Martinez in a foot race. And Restrepo comes out. Puts it by ball high. Forward. That one you could hear, it sounded like. And Serrano was frustrated as all get out, as you could hear some of that.
And I believe he deserves to be frustrated. I believe Powder was all over Malice's back there, and it probably should have been a foul, Landon. But Powder puts his hands up in the air like he did. I don't know if you want to do that next time.
Chang, can he find somebody as Blake puts that one up and over? Martinez was open that whole time on the back post.
There was a foul there. He was pushing the first
You can
time,
hear
dude.
Serrano
Come on, dude.
giving it a little bit to the AAR here on the near side, as well as the fourth official. Ball will be quickly played to Rissy. As you can see, Jack Blake, and he knew the second that came off his boots that he hit it high.
And I think when we see somebody like Jack Blake in that position, Landon, that we're expecting a goal there. And I think he's expecting a goal from himself. So when he goes back, he watches that replay, he's going to be very disappointed to not make this game 2-0.
Now is the time. Can the Monarchs try to make double their lead here while they're playing pretty successfully so far? Bold really haven't been able to get into the true flow. They've had some possession, but it hasn't really been dangerous at all.
And when you look at the energy of this game right now, you look at, you know, the energy level of the Awesome Bold right now. Their shoulders are slumping. You know, they're kind of walking around the field. I believe if you put one more goal on this team, it could be a rout tonight, Landon. This team could shut down completely, and the Monarchs could just be walking the rest of the night here.
Powder causes the Bold to lose possession. Noah Powder's always been one of those guys that you can feel sometimes goes a little tough in a challenge, but you like it. He's a guy that brings some of that extra energy as Blake goes down in the center of the pitch.
And that's what you want to see from young players. Too many times you see young players that are tentative. They don't want to go hard in the tackles. But when you do find those young guys that do want to go in hard, you absolutely love them.
Gotta love some of these young players like Julian Vasquez providing opportunities and getting this experience. And that's one of the things we don't get to talk about. Julian Vasquez, the youngest player on this Monarchs team, born in 2001. You were probably in college at that point.
I was a sophomore in high school, Landon.
Okay.
Easy, buddy.
All right. But it just goes to show some of these young guys getting experience. A couple of the other ones, Hasso's on the pitch, also very young, is Arriaga. He's going to get a touch. Can he find a player? Finds Martinez. Martinez didn't know it was coming to him. That'll be a giveaway there. Ryden's going to track back. Ryden, opportunity for the Bold. Ryden, shot, goal!
Yes! Oh my goodness!
As Tumazi finds the back of the nets. And it is 1-1 here in the 18th minute of play.
What a run by Tumazi. He never gives up on the play, fights off probably the two strongest players on the Monarchs team, and throughout all of that, calmly composed, slides it in the back post right around Andrew Putna. What a run. As you see in the replay here, he fights off Eric Holt first, fights off Kalen Ryan second, and is still has the mental acuity about him to just slide it into the back post. What a run and what a goal by Tumazi.
It's Tumazi's third goal of the season in the 18th minutes. Still a lot of frustration from Austin.
But this
towards our center referee.
This has been a familiar story though for the Monarchs throughout the year. When they get these early leads, Landon, they find themselves often giving up another goal within the next 5-10 minutes, and now it's all level again.
Yep. And that goal, 13 minutes between those two goals. But nonetheless, it really felt like Austin hadn't had a great opportunity, but then an individual performance there from Tumazi to score for Bold FC.
And now I'm going to be really curious to see what is the reaction from the Bold after scoring that goal. You know, do their shoulders straighten up a little bit? Do they have a little bit more pep in their step? And also, will there be a reaction from the Monarchs? Will they realize, hey, we got lucky with that first goal. We have to step up our play as well.
And one of the things you'd expect is the Monarchs would realize now it's a game. The pace has been quite slow. There hasn't been a whole ton of action. It really has felt like it's been in that middle third of the field, most of the action. But now both teams have kind of I would say more of a fluke goal or an individual performance goal, and with multiple mistakes on the end of each of those defensively. So you'd expect both teams need to figure out what they want to show for the rest of the 90 minutes.
And I love Eric Holt as a person and as a player, but he has to realize when he goes in for 50-50 challenges like that, he's going to have to go in with his head. He can't go in with his foot that high, because you go in with your foot and you miss it, you are completely out of the play. If you go in with your head, you are still positioned enough where maybe you can grab the guy as he goes by you. Maybe you can put your body between him and the ball. So this is a great learning experience for the young player.
And learning is what this is for this Monarch side. They've thrown out a lot of young lineups. One of the youngest lineups we saw was last week against Phoenix. And they really proved that young lineup was capable. They took a lot of flack, a lot of shots in on them, but were able to deal with it. This Monarchs team tonight has quite a bit of veteran experience, including the likes of Luke Mulholland's out on the pitch, who just got the touch on the ball. But they've got to prove that they really want this game. Almost a mistake there from Putna. So he's able to settle and get it to Kalen Ryden. A little more pressure from Austin here in the last few. Now they're back level. Out wide to Chang. Hasso. The Academy product. Mulholland trying to find Douglas Martinez. It'll be cleared high. Back to the Monarchs back line. Mulholland trying to find Chang. Chang's going to be taken down awkwardly. So we're going to see a warning here given to Soto.
I have 3 moments in my number 9. The same thing. Why the first one for him they give to him?
Chang's still down.
I'm not complaining about this one.
Soto's getting a stern lecture. I think that's enough is enough.
He didn't call any fouls for us.
You're going to see a replay look at that.
21 minutes, no fault in a tight game.
And as you see in the replay, it's clearly a foul. He clips his ankles, and I can understand Serrano's argument, but that is clearly a foul, and the ref has to call it.
I think it's more the build-up for Serrano that he really hasn't felt like he's got anything in this kind of stretch.
But sometimes that's what happens when you go on the road. That's the home field advantage that people talk about.
Possession 56-44 for the Bold so far. Monarchs take the resets. Ryden.
Play.
Powder lets that one go. Bold kind of pinging it around nicely, getting out of some of those dangerous positions. Arriaga, he'll find it. Plays it forward to Martinez. Martinez settles with his chest, pushes him wide, but has Jack Blake in front of him. Blake, he'll get the return pass. Blake inside the 18, and that's a penalty. Shown and given to the Monarchs as Jack Blake went down, and a yellow card's going to be shown to McFarland, our center referee tonight.
And this is one of those tackles, Landon. It's very close to being a shoulder in the back or being shoulder to shoulder. The referee has a better angle than almost all of us, so I'm going to trust that he makes the right decision. But in the replay, you can see here the 1-2, and McFarland's elbow looks like it is just into the back of Jack Blake there. I can understand the argument that Serrano has. It could go either way, but as a defender, honestly, you cannot put yourself in that position, Landon, to make to have the referee make that kind of call. You just can't put yourself in that position.
And here's one of the things to note. This is our 41st USL Championship game for our center referee. In those games, 149 yellows, 5 reds, and 14 PKs. Make that 15 tonight.
Come on, man.
Jack Blake gonna take it. Michael Chang's off the pitch, getting some assistance on his right ankle. Jack Blake will step up to the spots. Here in the 25th minute, Jack Blake approaches, shot, and a save! Huge save there from Diego Restrepo as he keeps Jack Blake out and pushes that one up over the crossbar.
Sometimes the ball doesn't lie, Landon. But that is an absolute fantastic save by Restrepo there, getting the big bear claw up in the air to just palm that ball over the crossbar.
Corner kick coming for the Monarchs. Jack Blake will trot out to take this one. Chang's back on the pitch. Ball can't beat the first defender. The Monarchs will try to recycle it back in. Powder puts it back towards Holt, and Holt takes down Mollis, but helps him up.
A fair call.
Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the Championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Baez picks up his head, trying to play a big ball, looking forward to McFarland, and McFarland makes a nice run there. I think Noah Powder thought that was rolling out, or his keeper was going to get a little quicker, and that was a little closer than he would have thought. Monarchs need to wake up, especially here at home. Baez draped all over the back.
Despite Baez being on his back, I believe they're calling Martinez here for hooking him and not allowing him to move.
I don't know if that's one of those.
We'll take a look at the replay here. Martinez does have Baez initially hooked with that left arm, I believe.
So I'm still a little confused by that, but maybe that's the persistent encouragement from Serrano from the bench. Finally getting that call there. Thomas Olave's now frustrated. Arriaga picks up his head. Arriaga plays it forward to Douglas Martinez. Martinez there, and that one looked more like a PK than the last one as Martinez goes down. And Serrano's calling for a card.
They're just gonna jump.
There's conversations between both head coaches.
We take a look at the replay here. Martinez, he very obviously gets there before it. I was on the side of Bold with that first one. It could have gone either way, but that is 100% a penalty kick, Landon.
I would agree. But nonetheless, we continue. Still level here through the 28th minutes. And this game is showing shades of a wild rest of the way. 60-plus minutes remaining in this one, and there should be some fireworks. I can't imagine this game ending 1-1.
This game has been so weird in the fact that it has started extremely slow, and it's building to a crescendo here in the second half, Landon.
First half still.
I mean, with the way the game started, I would not have expected this in the last 10 minutes.
Hasso tries to play it forward. Blake's there. Blake gets it back. Blake forward into Martinez, and just out in front of him, but the right idea as Vasquez was out wide calling for that as well. Restrepo, he'll pick it up. He's gonna reset things for the Bold. He'll roll it out wide to Taylor. Forward, Malice gets up high, wins the first ball. Second ball brought down by Lima and calls for the handball as that one looked a little high up over towards the shoulder. I think both sides are going to call everything from the bench because they feel like they can maybe get something from this center referee. Baez. Powder cuts off the pass. Noah Powder going forward. Trying to find Douglas Martinez. All three defenders come together and kind of dangerous there as Restrepo still not able to clear it. And it just looked like confusion there from the Bold back line. Kleber plays it wide. Tomasi, our goal scorer for the Bold, goes forward. Arriaga meets him. Monarchs have played kind of a tough schedule. This is the third game of 4 in 11 days. With the culmination of that being Saturday back here home against Sacramento Republic. But one of those tough challenges for this Monarch side, a late push, but also multiple games in multiple days.
And we've talked about this before in the fact that, yes, these are multiple games in a very short time period against all playoff teams, but you can look at it one of two ways. It can be like, oh, well, this is going to be really hard on the Monarchs and they're going to be worn out. Or you could look at it in the fact if they do well, this could give them a boatload of confidence going into the playoffs. And they have done very well over this stretch of games. And as they go into the playoffs, you can see Hamza Olave is throwing out different lineups, different formations, playing a lot of different players, and everything is clicking right now at the right time for them.
And that's one of the things we haven't talked about. We've seen this Monarchs side with 5 defensive backs in games tonight. They're only playing with 4. One of the reasons might be the red card that we saw on Saturday nights for the Monarchs. Kleber. Out wide. Soto.
The ball, hey, the ball is a Josué, you gotta tuck in.
Rissi.
Paciência.
This game just hasn't had the flow. It's really kind of been staccato.
Hey,
Kind of throughout. It'll go through moments of high energy and then drop to moments of kind of a little bit lackadaisical from both sides. Ball on top of the area.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, the person that's had the most energy tonight has been Serrano. Yeah, I think he's had more energy than all the guys on the field so far.
Which is a little bit wild, figuring what's at stake for both these sides. Vasquez needs to get back in. Mulholland's covering for him. Mulholland tries to get there. Oh, he pushed up and over. Wide of frame by Taylor. Goal kick coming for the Monarchs. Not sure where Lima was sitting there. Sitting just away and easy to be cut off out of the play. All wide to Hasso. Steve Hasso. Into Michael Chang. Bold side, like we've mentioned, hold the advantage in the all-time series. Only their second meeting. Arriaga takes a shot from distance, unable to keep it on frame, but hold the all-time series lead so far with that one game being played in week 8 in Austin. 3-2 win for the Bold. McFarland scored in the 4th, Lima in the 11th, and in the 42nd, Schmidt scored for the Monarchs, and Martinez in the 54th. Possession, though, was 62-38 for the Monarchs, and 34 total shots in that game. I think we're already on pace for quite a few shots tonight. Possession almost equal so far. You know, we might take some flack from Jack Blake as Douglas Martinez going forward, calling for players inside the box, puts it at just near the PK spot, no one there. When you have Douglas Martinez serving in, not your striker there, to be on the attack. One of the things I was going to say is we talked with Jack Blake on our podcast, The Center Circle, about career PKs, and he'd only missed one until this one, his second all-time career PK missed.
I guess he didn't knock on any wood when he said that.
We commentator curse. Ball played in from Vasquez and directly onto the line of Diego Restrepo. That's the first missed PK this season for the Monarchs. 7 scored, 1 missed in 8 tries.
And the thing about that PK lane is it wasn't. I mean, Restrepo made a great save. Jack Blake put that ball in a very good spot, but Restrepo, who was diving, was able to get that big paw up in the air at the last second. So, I mean, Restrepo saved it. Jack Blake didn't necessarily miss it.
And one of those things that you have to give keepers credit when they make a save, especially it's on frame. Sometimes they miss wide, and you can say, well, the PK taker should have taken a better PK. But Restrepo, like you mentioned, did get a big paw on it.
Now let the best win.
Putna into Arriaga. It'll be right back to Putna. Andrew Putna, 33 saves, 4 clean sheets in 12 games coming into tonight. This ball's going to go high, and it's going to be awkward. Going to have some spin to it. Ryden battles through that one. Will keep possession. Mulholland gets it out wide to Hasso. To Arriaga, nice little combination there. Looking forward to Chang. Chang was taking a step instead of more in stride. And that one squirts all the way back to Diego Restrepo. It's one of those times when you need like a giraffe leg. Or a giraffe
he needs
neck,
one of those
something
Douglas Martinez legs, that leg to get out, that long leg to get out there to get the touch on the ball.
Go gadget legs. Arriaga to Blake. Blake, top of the circle. Still with possession, takes a shot and up and over the crossbar. I don't know that he was ever going to really have the angle that he needed to get over it and put it correctly on frame.
It's so hard when you're going away from goal like that to get the power and the accuracy on the shot. Jack Blake, he got the power, but he was leaning back. He's going away from the goal. It's just so hard to get a shot like that on frame.
36 minutes of play. We're all level here in Harriman. First ball won by Lima. Nice job to win that over Kalen Ryden, who doesn't lose too many of those first-time balls off goal kicks. Chang. Hasso tries to keep it in. Takes a deflection. Will be out for a throw-in. Bold trying to move quickly.
When the Bold have kept possession tonight, they've done a very good job at breaking the Monarchs down. But sometimes they get a little bit impatient with their attack, and guys are looking to hit crossfield balls, guys are looking to hit balls in behind. But the Monarchs have read that every single time. Can they be a little bit more patient with their attack? Can they connect a few passes through the midfield? They haven't really found Lima too much in the attack tonight. Can they find him more to make it hard on the Monarchs' back line?
Jack Blake. It's got Vasquez out wide. He's going to try and find Vasquez running around McFarland. And looked like a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Looks like it would almost be easier to just let it go for a goal kick, but it'll be a free kick for the Bold. Seemed pretty shoulder-to-shoulder, but the foul was called and given to the Bold. Restrepo is going to take the free kick. Tune in to ESPN3 Saturday, October 19th at 1 p.m. for a special game of the week to close out the 2019 season. A home playoff match is at stake when Real Monarchs host Sacramento Republic FC. The winner hosts a playoff match, as there's going to be a foul there given for the Monarchs. The winner hosts a home playoff match, while the loser potentially goes to the play-in game. Catch all the drama Saturday, October 19th at 1 p.m. on ESPN3. Arriaga gets it wide to Chang. Chang running inside the 18, go towards the touchline, tries to put it across. That'll be cut off by the defense and nicely played out for a corner, or for, excuse me, a throw-in instead of a corner kick.
And that's really only the second or third time we've seen Michael Chang make those slaloming runs that he likes to make. The Monarchs, they need to find him more on that outside wing, because when they find him, Landon, they're able to make things happen. So I'd love to see them try to find him a little bit more here as the first half winds down.
Michael Chang, 13 goals, 5 assists on the season, and he's been really a special player for this Monarch side in his 7th season in the USL Championship. Hasso, heavy touch, able to still get back under it, puts it inside the box. Martinez was in the area, but cleared away by the Bold.
As we see in the replay here, Hasso gets himself in a great spot, but Jermaine Taylor, living up to the nickname of Biggs, just gets enough on it to flick it out to the far side. And now the Bold, they're given a chance to reset, and the Monarchs are attacking again.
Blake, Hasso. He's gonna wait for Blake to come around him. Blake wearing the captain's armband for the Monarchs. He's gonna recycle. 40th minute of play. We're all level in this important playoff matchup. Not quite playoff matchup, but battle for the playoffs is what I meant.
For both of these teams, it basically is a playoff matchup, Landon, because, like you said, we said in the pregame, the Bold are fighting for their playoff lives, and the Monarchs are obviously fighting for that home playoff spot. So really, if it is a playoff game, it should feel like a playoff game. They should be playing this like a playoff game.
I know we mentioned the magic number for the Bold, 1 point. So a tie would do them fine tonight. Monarchs, obviously, I think, are pushing for all 3 points to make sure they capitalize and have an opportunity to not only have the 4 in the Western Conference. Jack Blake takes a shot, deflects off Taylor. Not only have the 4, but also possibly move up into that 3 seed and secure a 3rd straight season as a top 4 team in the USL Championship. Hasso will take the throw in. Into Arriaga. He'll play it right back to Hasso. Arriaga. Inside the box, over the head of Martinez. Martinez gonna apply pressure. It'll roll out, and it'll be a throw in for the Monarchs. Powder. Gets it to Holt. Nice little layoff pass there to Mulholland. Mulholland, I think, as a foul will be called on Luke Mulholland. Kleber is down.
Is the foul on Luke, or is the foul on the ball? I believe that what he is calling here is the fact that after Luke slides, that the follow through of his slide, the bottom of his cleats catch Kleber there, and you can say that is a foul. But I mean, we can say the referee has been consistent tonight. Whichever way you want to say that it's good or bad, he's been consistent.
Very consistent on the side. But both teams, I think, have some complaints. No yellow card shown there to Mulholland, but an opportunity for the Bold to catch their breath a little bit as the Monarchs had an attack that they were sustaining there in the last few. 42nd minute of play. Kleber still down, getting attention to that left foot from the training staff. You can see some conversations between the Bold, trying to figure things out up top with Lima. You can see Baez there giving us some instruction. So you can check out tonight is a special night, Wizard Nights here at Zions Bank Stadium. Fans, first 500 fans in attendance, got a nice wand, and there's also turkey legs.
Everybody's 2 favorite things: magic wands and turkey legs.
You saw a quick shot of one of our fans out there enjoying the turkey leg. We've had wing nights and wizard nights. So it looks like Kleber's up and all right. He's going to have to leave the pitch as there was no yellow shown. But looks like he'll come on right after that. We get the restart. Rissy. Got a couple fans putting spells on us up here in the booth. Maybe just trying to give us a little more light. I don't know. Not sure if I know too many wizard spells to cast. Taylor, play it back to Restrepo. 44th minutes. So we're getting ever closer to that halftime whistle. Holt's a little bit out of position there. Kleber. Shots wide of frame. Or excuse me, it's Lima, not Kleber. But Lima puts that one wide. But another good opportunity for the Bold and kind of an awkward situation as Tumazi found himself attacking the defense again, similar to his goal.
And sometimes when a game like this is so slow as it is,
We're gonna see a yellow card shown to Rissy just before the halftime whistle, as Jack Blake was up in the air.
what I was saying, Landon, is sometimes when a game like this doesn't have the flow, doesn't have the energy, it causes defenses to fall asleep. And in that instance, Tumazi finds himself in between the two center backs, and two center backs caught sleeping a little bit, and Tumazi's able to get in behind there, and Lima finally gets his first real opportunity in the game. He's not going to get many opportunities, so when he does, he's got to do better than what he just did there.
Second yellow card shown to the Bolts. 76th yellow card shown here in the 2019 season for them. So we'll see stoppage time announced here shortly. Chang plays it inside the box. Douglas Martinez towards goal. And that one's going to go just wide. I think there was a touch, as we're going to get a corner kick, the second of the evening for the Monarchs. So we'll have to get a replay look on that one here in a second after this corner kick. Jack Blake, he'll trot out to the near side to take this corner. Swung in with the right foot. Cleared away by the Bold. Not completely. Stoppage time is announced, 2 minutes. With 2 minutes of stoppage time. Ball played inside the box. The Monarchs need to get numbers back as we can take a replay look on that Douglas Martinez opportunity. So we'll look at a second angle.
Maybe Douglas Martinez should have shaved his head before the game. If he still had some hair up there, he might have been able to finish that.
Ball's going to be out. It'll be a throw-in. So we're into our stoppage time here in the first half. Monarchs entered the match tonight 15-10-7, 52 points in fourth place. Bold entered 13-11 and 47 points in eighth place. But a big 3 points tonight for them would be an opportunity to jump just below the Monarchs. 2 points below the Monarchs. Be another throw-in just at the midfield half. Martinez battling with Taylor. He's going to be called for the foul. Thomas Olave in Spanish says, if I can scream as well, and I can try to get as many calls as he's getting.
If I'm the fourth official, I am keeping myself at a nice arm's length distance from Thomas and Olave.
Or both head coaches tonight. Free kick. Lima settles with his chest. Pinging around. Chang's going to apply some pressure. Kleber gets it out wide. Kleber, return pass to Lima. Lima takes a shot, and it's wide. It feels like he's hit that same spot wide twice tonight. As that's the halftime whistle. 45 minutes of soccer done here at Zions Bank Stadium, and we're level at 1-1 after goals from Julian Vasquez in the 15th minutes, and then Bold equalizing in the 18th with Tumazi.
A game that starts dreadfully slow tonight, Landon, picks up as the first half ends here. So, will we see more energy from both of these sides that are fighting for playoff spots tonight?
An opportunity to go to the bench, but we'll take our first break and be back with halftime thoughts here shortly. America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Okay, people, it's Ford Truck Month. And you know what that means. The best deals on America's best-selling trucks for 42 years straight. And with over 28 million sold, isn't it time you joined the stampede?
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus $1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
Welcome into the beautiful Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman City. Brody inside the team. Brody shot and a goal! Andrew Brody.
Blake takes the shot and he hammered it home.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
For the past 42 years, and with over 28 million sold, more people have put their hard-earned money on a Ford F-Series truck than any other pickup in America. Yeah, I'd say that's money well spent. It's Ford Truck Month, America. Time to join the stampede.
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus $1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
He's going to go at goal. Shot and a goal! That has to be on the goal of the week.
Now get the timestamp. Warner, the beauty.
Goal!
Bermudez puts it home, and Greenville scored. Pepe going for goal. He's given North Texas the moment.
What this club is trying to do is offer a real sense of community.
But it's all about the process. Make sure you're doing the little things right.
They have a really strong locker room, and everybody really wants to do well for the club.
Good afternoon, Faithful. This is a big day. This is a big deal for us. This is a win for the community.
We've been averaging, between, I would say, 10 and 12,000 a game.
And it is a loud, boisterous 10,000, 12,000, and they love us, and we love them just as much. I mean, it's a reciprocal relationship at all times.
We never thought that we would grow this fast.
I have to pinch myself because, it sometimes seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's been pretty unbelievable, and, it's been done better than I ever could have dreamt of, to be honest.
This is a club for New Mexico, by New Mexicans.
And I don't think that we're done yet. It's just getting started.
We're back here live at Zions Bank Stadium as you're going to see a replay look of the goal from Julian Vasquez to open up the scoring in the 5th minutes in a beautiful goal there by him as you get a second replay look at that. And just a good piece of individual skill for his first professional goal and what has to feel good for him. And then here's the equalizer from Tumazi as we're going to see another replay look at that. And he stood up and just showed everybody beast mode to make that happen. And then here you're going to get a replay look at the penalty call as Jack Blake in the box, fouled by McFarland. As Blake goes down, and you're going to see the upcoming save by Diego Restrepo and the big left paw there to push it up and over the bar. And the excitement from him. Let's check out the storylines for this match. We've talked a little bit about this throughout the broadcast so far. Monarchs 4-1-0 in the last 5 matches. Austin Bold only 1 point outside the playoffs. An opportunity tonight, if this scoreline holds, they'll clinch a berth in the 2019 USL Championship playoffs. And the Monarchs have only lost 5 games at home in the last 3 years. And it's kind of a telling stats for this side here at Zions Bank Stadium and Rio Tinto Stadium in that stretch. Standings, and we've talked about this all night, and we'll continue to harp upon this. Monarchs with the big opportunity to jump up to 55 points. Austin, on the opposite hand, able to jump all the way up to 50 points, putting them level with El Paso with a game remaining. Let's check out scores around the league, and these games are this weekend, big games, and a couple that have implications here in the Western Conference. Reno taking on Tulsa, San Antonio against the Switchbacks. San Antonio still fighting for their playoff lives. Phoenix Rising, see if they can get or have the chance to clinch the record for goals in a season as well as victories. Let's check out the USL Team of the Week featuring one of our own here at Zions Bank Stadium. Andrew Putna had himself a game with keeping Phoenix Rising, the #1 team in the league, only to 1 goal. Ever Guzman, the player of the week in the USL Championship. And that's your Team of the Week. Michael Chang also was on on the bench for the team of the week. So something of note. David, first half thoughts.
I mean, that could be the slowest start to a game we have seen all season, Landon. It did pick up as the first half went on, but you wouldn't expect that energy level from two teams that have something to fight for. So as these two teams come out in the second half, can Austin pick up their energy a little bit? Can they either, dig out this draw, or can they go for the win? And then the Monarchs, they have to realize they're fighting for that home playoff spot. So both teams, as they come out in the second half, they need to come out with something to prove. Prove to us, prove to the fans, prove to the rest of the league.
And one of the things the Monarchs have felt like they've done has proved to the league that they're capable of being in that. But there's another tier for them to prove. And for Austin, it's now you've got to get in. Tonight, you don't win, you don't get a points. It becomes a struggle. You've got one game remaining to see if you can make some magic happen. If nothing happens there, it would be a disappointing finish to the season for them.
And I know it has been an emotional few weeks for them, but you have to find something deep inside of you right now to come out in the second half and want it and want to go out there, get the draw, get the win, and can Austin prove that to us as in the second half here?
And our condolences go out to the Austin Bold family for their loss, and I know that's something that still holds heavy in the hearts of these guys on the field. In high school, I lost some teammates, multiple actually, during my high school career, and that was a challenge. And so can only imagine for these guys what that's meant, is he was an integral part on this team. And we'll show the tifo from the Wasatch Legion, but they have a beautiful tifo in his memory tonight that they have just behind the goal on the north side of the stadium. But we're almost ready to get underway. If you're Hamas and Olave, what changes do you make at this point to make sure that your team's able to secure all 3 points?
I mean, you don't make any personnel changes right now, but you save those subs for later on in the game, because guys are going to start getting tired legs with the lineup of games that they have had recently. He's got to save those subs for later in the game, but tell you guys they need to come out with more energy. They need to set the tone in this game. They need to impose their will, both physically and their playing style on this game and on Austin Bold.
And one of the things that the Monarchs are capable of doing is bringing two guys that have very high energy in the attack, in Kyle Coffey and Damian Herman. Both have scored game winners this season as super subs. As Coffey is in the match tonight, first substitution from the Monarchs is Kyle Coffey. Scored himself a goal against Phoenix Rising.
And he comes on for Douglas Martinez, who is coming back from international duty. His legs are probably a little bit heavy from playing big games and then having to travel all the way back here to Utah. So this is a great sub by Hamas and Olave. I'm going to eat my own words here because I said he shouldn't make any personnel changes, but this is a great sub to keep Martinez fresh going into the weekend.
Kyle Coffey, 5 goals on the season. The most recent coming, like we mentioned, on the weekend against Phoenix Rising in the game winner. Diego Restrepo. Big ball forward. Nice settle there by Lima. He's able to play it out wide, but cleared high and long by Noah Powder. It's going to roll out and be a throw-in on the far side. Monarchs going to try to get their lines up high and push the Bold in deep.
All these cheese pop.
McFarland sitting on a yellow card. 2 goals, 11 assists on the season for him. Lima. All the way back to Holtz. We'll turn it and play it to Putton, huh? Holtz. To Ryden. Bold have their substitutions getting up and ready. Monarchs, like we mentioned, have already made one. Hasso finds Blake. Heavy touch there by Jack Blake. Didn't look like that felt nicely. Maybe got a slight touch of the studs. Maybe a little bit of a rake unintentionally over his foot. Kleber plays it out wide to McFarland. McFarland capable of serving the ball in nicely. Puts it in, and it'll take a deflection. It'll be the first corner of the evening for the Bold. As McFarland comes up limping as he went into the board. He's back on the pitch But Down struggling, stretching out that left ankle, it looks like. Level at 1 here. You're going to see a replay look at him serving in. Kind of came down awkwardly and then went up into the boards. But it looked like he maybe rolled that just before he went into the boards. Nevertheless, first corner kick coming for Austin. Ball's going to be swung in deep, looking towards back post, and Ryden's going to be tossed down by Kleber. Ball's going to be quickly played into Chang. Numbers for the Monarchs if they can go forward. Quickly changes. Michael Chang. Big switch there, out wide to Arriaga. Arriaga, overlapping run coming from Powder. Ball gets out wide to Noah Powder. Couple step overs. He's going to go towards the touchline, puts it inside the box, hits frame. A lot closer than it looked. And Coffey on the doorstep with a chance to put the Monarchs up, and he puts that one right up and over the crossbar.
With the first touch of the second half, for the first touch of the whole game for Kyle Coffey, could have been a goal. He is going to be so disappointed when he sees this replay, because multiple times this year, Kyle Coffey has been Johnny on the spot in front of the goal, puts himself in great places, but sometimes when it's your first touch of the game and you haven't been playing, you're just not, you don't have those touches down just yet.
Ball ping-pongs around. Taylor will play it back to Restrepo.
Guys, everyone be ready with
Taylor's going to get the return. Played forward, heavy touch there. Be knocked out of play by Hasso. But that seemed like a golden opportunity. And I think we failed to mention even deeper about that ball that was played in. It hit the uprights, almost in that V.
And some people are going to argue if it was a shot or a cross. 100% that was a cross. No Powder was not aiming for that on the goal.
Well done.
It's Eric Holtz. Fouls Tumazi. Right in front of the Bolts bench. He went right through and made sure he couldn't get around him after that fact. Taylor. Back to Restrepo. 51st minutes. Coffey applies chase. Played in the midfield. Bad giveaway there by the Bold. Can the Monarchs take advantage? Out wide. Julian Vasquez plays it inside the box, trying to find the run of Kyle Coffey. Numbers for the Bold. McFarland has wheels. He's going to keep going forward. Ryden's going to get wide and applies the pressure, takes a deflection off Julian Vasquez, and it'll go out for a second corner of the second half for the Bold.
Excellent cover from Kalen Ryan there, but Julian Vasquez needs to learn that you need to have a little bit more urgency defensively when you are tracking back like that, and you cannot allow McFarland to get that head of steam as he's going forward, because players in those positions, if you allow them to get that head of steam, are always going to outrun you.
One of the other games going on tonight, New Mexico and Tacoma, all level at 1. Ball played inside the box. Ryden rises high. Chang applies pressure, and a bad ball there by Rizzi. I think he was trying to find the ball right back into Soto. But the pressure by Chang forced him to quickly play it out. Ball into midfield, giveaway by Holtz. Still inside the center of the park. And that's going to be a card shown to Soto. It's now 3 of 4 defenders for Austin sitting on a yellow card. As Julian was fouled on that one. And you have to wonder, now with yellows almost across the full back line, Taylor the only defender tonight without a yellow card, you have to wonder, is that where one of these substitutions happens for Serrano and Austin?
If there's going to be no substitution, it is going to be a long 40 minutes for this back line of the Bulls, because they have to be extremely careful now that, you know, they don't miss a ball, they don't miss a tackle. Even something incidental as the game goes on can cause that second yellow. So that back line is really going to have to be smart and be careful with their challenges.
A couple defenders on the bench for Austin. We'll get to those. It looks like we're going to have a substitution here shortly from the Bold. Lima got the first ball. Second ball won by the Monarchs. Arriaga out wide to Vasquez. Vasquez, plenty of green space in front of him. Into Powder. Powder, step over. Powder, shot just wide of frame. And you gotta love that look from Noah Powder. The nice step over opens up his hips and drills it to that far post, but wide by just a little bit.
You're gonna see here in the replay, Noah Powder with the step over and the right-footed shot. Did you know that he had a right foot landed?
I do now.
What a strike from Noah Powder.
First ball won by Austin. It'll go out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Hasso quickly back into Holtz. 54th minutes. 1-1. On this Wednesday night in USL Championship action. As the paper has been handed to our our fourth official. Just getting the board squared away, and Austin will make their first substitution. Hasso finds Coffey. Coffey splits the center backs. He's inside the 18. Finds space, takes a shot. Goal! Kyle Coffey, number 6. The super sub, Kyle Coffey. Syracuse, Utah native, University of Washington product. 6 goals on the season. It's a wonderful bit of individual skill there from Kyle Coffey. Puts the Monarchs up 2-1 here in the 55th.
What a finish by Kyle Coffey. Coming across the 18, as you see in the replay, it looks as if he is going to go far post with this shot landed, and Restrepo takes a step to his right, but Kyle Coffey comes back to that near post on him after he took that step, and he's able to squeeze it in that near post. What a finish by Kyle Coffey.
So a double substitution coming. Phillips will enter the match, as well as Tierpak. And one of those names Real Salt Lake fans might recognize, DeMar Phillips, former Real Salt Lake player. Coming into the match for Austin. Tierpak is going to replace Malice, and will play here on the near side. Chris Tierpak, one of those USL Championship names that's had quite a bit of success, was very successful for San Antonio FC.
And you gotta wonder, with Chris Tierpak coming in on that left wing, going against the young Steve Yasso, can he use that experience and take advantage of the left side of the field right now?
DeMar Phillips will get his first touch of the match. He'll play the ball in nicely inside the box, headed away by the Monarchs. Baez still with it. He'll get it out wide. McFarland. Nice job to get away from 2 defenders. Plays it inside the box. Lima with the equalizer. Nice ball played inside the box, and he was left all alone and headed that right past Andrew Putna. There's another assist for McFarland, his 12th of the season, and he provides that great service as that individual was able to get around 2 Monarchs defenders.
And there's a reason why he leads this team in assists, is because he plays in fantastic balls like that. And Andre Lima, he knows where that ball's coming. As you see here in the replay, he's sitting between the 2 center backs, and that ball just drops right down to him. I apologize. Sorry, he was sitting between Kalen Ride and Steve Yasso, and Steve Yasso did not tuck in to help Kalen Ride. And if that ball's over top of him, it's a free header. And Lima, who has, you know, scored a lot of goals when he was in Brazil, is able to come in tonight.
Tomas, I need 60.
And, you know, when you get in front of the goal like that, a guy like Lima is not going to miss.
Lima with 14 goals on the season, his third against the Monarchs this season. Score is 2-2. We're all level once again. And you just felt like this game had to ramp up at some moments as we've ramped up in steps up to now being level at 2-2.
But once again, another mental letdown from the Monarchs after they have scored a goal, Landon. It's kind of been a storyline throughout the season that they have these mental letdowns, and that's something they got to clean up as they go into the playoffs here.
Vasquez will try to get it forward. Does nicely to get it to Noah Powder. No foul call. Powder's frustrated. Oh, Lima settles. Tries to get it to Tier Pack. Foul waved away. As Coffey, he's got to be frustrated. There's something going on behind. Couple shoves there into Noah Powder. And this game's starting to get a little heated.
I think Jermaine Taylor, he comes in very hard there, and as Kyle Coffey falls down, he kind of goes over top of him, and I believe he probably stepped on Kyle Coffey's hand. That's what it looks like. And Noah Powder, he took offense to it. He's standing up for his teammate, and Jermaine Taylor, who's the one player that does not have a yellow card yet on that back line, he's able to do things like that. And we see here in the replay, right here, he comes in hard and just continues over top of him, and he stepped on his hand there. He did.
Those do not feel good and does not make you a happy camper when those happen, as he's holding his right hand. Coffey's up and all right. As the trainer never came on the pitch, Kyle Coffey will stay on. Frustration and temper starting to boil here at Zions Bank Stadium. Paso, the whole Monarchs 10 shots, 4 on goal. Austin 5 shots, 2 on goal. Phillips gets a slight touch, enough to cause Jack Blake not to settle. It'll be a Monarchs throw-in, quickly taken. Paso. Tries to find Coffey, or Arriaga. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at the highest levels across the USL to develop its local talents and compete at the highest levels across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Coffey in the corner, picks up his head, finds Vasquez to Mulholland. Powder. Mulholland smartly pulls the ball out of that position, puts it out wide to Vasquez. A lot of pressure there from Austin. Pays off as they're going to give away. Ball out wide. Ryden pushes out wide.
Keep your speed. Keep your speed. Don't slow down. You see?
Coffey will apply pressure to McFarland. McFarland's capable of serving a beautiful ball in, so someone you have to keep an eye on as he stretches up along that touch line moving forward into the attack. Phillips. Back to Taylor. Kleber. Nice job there. Phillips into Tier Pack.
Push, push, push. Hey, Tier Pack, keep fucking going, man. Guys, be ready here in about 4 minutes.
Taylor. Possession now in favor of the Monarchs. 60-40. Ball played inside the box. Lima and Ryden in chase, and it'll be over both their heads.
Much better possession sequence there from Austin, though. They're keeping the ball along the back line again, and now they're starting to break. They're starting to find those weak spots within the Monarchs. Is that something they can keep doing here in the last 30 minutes? I mean, those balls over top probably aren't going to be their best bet. They want to keep the ball, try and find McFarland out on that right side the same way they did for that second goal. He's the guy that really makes things happen on the service side.
17 games this season. The Bold have only won 3 games away from home, once against the Roughnecks, once against Rio Grande Valley, and the final time against the Timbers. Like we mentioned, the Monarchs have only lost twice here at home here in the 2019 season. 10-2-3 here at home, with the Bold's record of 3-7-5 away from Austin. Chang tries to find Hasso. Hasso slowed up his run, and frustration there. We talked about yellow cards and the game that's been intense. The second and third ranked teams in yellow cards this season, the Monarchs and the Bold. So lots of yellow cards being shown to both these sides throughout the year. And you wouldn't expect that to change tonight. It's been kind of par for the course.
Organiza.
Tumazi inside the box to Tierpak. Tierpak scuffs it. It's a good opportunity.
Fantastic run from Tierpak there. Steve Yasso, he has to either stay with that runner or he has to let Eric Holt know that guy's coming. He just can't let that guy run. Tierpak was wide open, and the Monarchs are very lucky that Tierpak did not finish that. But Steve Yasso on that right side, he's got to open his mouth to the rest of those defenders.
Chang into Vasquez. Vasquez to Arriaga, settled by Chang. Chang trying to flick it forward to to Vasquez. As it ping-pongs inside the box. DeMar Phillips cuts in, give away from Phillips. Into Arriaga, wide to Chang. Chang cuts. Chang can shoot it from here. Chang's shot takes a deflection. As you thought, as space opened up, him cutting inside is what he prefers to do, but just not able to get off the shots. Ryden. Arriaga. Looks like the Monarchs are going to make their second substitution. So it'll be Sam Brown.
Patience.
You have to wonder if it's maybe pulling out Luke Mulholland's, giving him a rest as he could be involved in playoff action this weekend. Coffey. He'll pick up his head. Coffey with a shot from distance. Right into the waiting arms of Restrepo.
And I'm fine with that shot from Kyle Coffey. Test the goalie, test him out. Everything you touch has been going in recently, so why not take a chance from that? As you can see, he lines it up from about 25 yards out. Take that chance. I like that. Great opportunity from Kyle Coffey.
Hasso. Kleber. To Baez. Baez is going to try to get it wide. He does so. Tumazi. Coffey. Monarchs have numbers. Can they capitalize? Coffey. To Jack Blake. And they'll get it wide to Vasquez. Vasquez gets around the defender. Goes towards the touchline. Plays it in. Still in the area. And Arriaga just couldn't get the shot off. I think no call is right there. As Rizzi was there just to stand straight up. I don't know that you could fault Rizzi for staying in his position.
Nope, the referee is 100% correct there. That's not a foul on Rizzi. He holds his ground. Arriaga, as he swings through that ball and just follows through into Rizzi, so that is not a foul. I believe tonight that the ref made a good choice there.
And we've had some that have been a little more 50-50, or maybe questionable, but that one seemed pretty clear, cut and dry. Tierpak held up by Hasso. And it'll be a foul as Arriaga's going to come off the pitch. And Sam Brown is going to enter the match. Sam Brown making his 6th appearance on the season. out of Harvard. One of those smart guys.
Be the smartest guy in the field.
Once was an intern for Real Salt Lake. The organization, Michael Chang's gonna push out wide. Line on top of the 18 for the Monarchs. Keep an eye on Lima. Phillips swings in a nice ball. And multiple players unmarked. Header was wide of frame.
That's a fantastic ball from DeMar Phillips in that position. The Monarchs, they have to do better. They have to stay tuned in. There's 25 minutes left in this game, Landon. They cannot lose their focus now because they're going to get punished in those instances if they do that in the playoffs.
Chang. Hasso. Back to Holtz. You can feel the pressure that Serrano wants these guys to play from the bold. Feels like he's ramped up that. They're attacking on every ball. Maybe they smell an opportunity with it being 2-2 here in the 69th.
And we said earlier in the game that Serrano was the one guy that had the most energy in this game, and right now he is trying to impose that energy upon his own players because he smells the blood that's in the water, and he wants his players to feel that same way as him.
Chang. Hasso makes the overlap. Kyle Coffey inside the box. He'll get it wide to Hasso, back to Coffey. Coffey heavy touch. Kind of been lucky as Coffey gets knocked off the ball. No foul called. Now it's kind of flipped roles. Hamas and Olave now wondering where the fouls are for his side. It's a ball ambitiously played towards goal.
Very ambitious from about 70 yards out as you're going away from the goal.
So Austin looked like they're going to make their third and final substitution. It looks like it's going to be defensive for them. All played out. It'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Brofide looks to be the substitution as he's getting final instructions from head coach Marcelo Serrano. Holt. Nice ball in, trying to finds Jack Blake, but unable to pass it off to Kyle Coffey. Tomasi. To Baez. Bold with the string of possession here. Austin. Phillips calling for someone to check into the space towards him. Coffey does just enough to make sure he can't turn his, or excuse me, open up. But the Bold are able to open it up to the far side. Cut in, Baez. As Lima kind of looked like one of those no-look passes there. As Coffey goes sliding in.
Another great spell of possession from Bold. Can they find some type of end product this time, Landon?
Kleber gets it out wide. Can this be an opportunity? Lima way off, and a big save there from Putna, but the flag was up, and I'm not sure what Bold's bench is arguing there for. It was saved nonetheless, but the flag was up on the far side.
We see here in the replay, Lima finds himself just 2 steps behind that back line. Putna still, though, despite it being offsides, makes a great save there, Landon. But the Bold, they're keeping possession a little bit more. They're starting to find Phillips and McFarland in very dangerous areas behind the Monarchs' back line. The Monarchs, they have to keep their focus. They have to know where Lima is at all times in the box when that ball's out wide.
Dave Villard. The Villardi. Night will be done. As Tierpak applies some pressure. As Edson Brofide will come into the match here in the 73rd. All 3 substitutions have now been made by the Bold, and it looks like The Monarchs are going to hang on to their final for a touch longer. Headed out by the Bold. Ball into Sam Brown. Brown to Mulholland. Mulholland's going to get it back. All level, 2-2. Here in this intense battle between these Western Conference sides, giveaway by the Monarchs. Kleber picks up his head, looking for options forward. He's going to go at himself. Ball played wide to Phillips. Hasso going to have to get on his horse. Gets wide to Phillips. Phillips plays the ball inside. Looking back stick. Tumazi settles. Still in play. It's still in. Tumazi picks up his head. Now 3 around him. He'll play it back out wide to Baez. Baez serves it in. Back stick trying to find Phillips, and it'll be out of play.
Great run there from DeMar Phillips to get into that space on the opposite side of the field. Michael Chang, he can't lose that runner. At least he has to see him so he can let the defense know that he's there. He just kind of let him run there. And Phillips, a little bit better ball and a little bit better play from Tumazi, and that could be a great opportunity for the Bold.
The other score or other game that's happening right now in the USL Championship, New Mexico United and Tacoma. Defiance all level at 1 in Tacoma, Washington. As New Mexico trying to fight for their playoff lives. They were world beaters at the start of the year and have since kind of fallen off their horse a little bit, but trying to make sure they qualify for the playoffs.
I think that really goes to show you it doesn't matter how you start a season, Landon. It matters how you end it. You looked at Phoenix Rising at the beginning of the year. They were in last place. Looked at New Mexico first place. Now they're fighting for the playoffs, and Phoenix has a record-setting season.
Chang gets it back to Mulholland. Mulholland trying to get around the defense. Cut off. Phillips is going to lob the ball forward, trying to clear lines for the Bold. And that's something we talk about often, especially with this Real Salt Lake organization. Real Salt Lake's only championship comes in a year where the things just clicked at the end of the season.
And sometimes it's about having that momentum as you go into the playoffs. The Monarchs, who in previous seasons have had all the momentum at the beginning of the season and have kind of crashed out of the playoffs in the first round, whereas this year they had ups and downs. They had things that they had to work through, and now they're really hitting their stride here in the last 5 or 6 games before the playoffs. And to me, I feel like they have a lot of momentum as they go into the playoffs.
Hasso has 2 defenders in front of him. He'll dance trying to find space, finds Mulholland. Back to Hasso. Hasso tries to get the return pass to him. Tierpak looked to almost save it, but it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs.
Tierpak, organize! Organize that zone! Boa, Lima. Sai um pouquinho, sai um pouquinho. Vem saindo, vem saindo. Vem saindo. Emma!
We talked about this TIFO honoring the player who passed away, Promise. So you can see a great shot. Wasatch Legion created that TIFO. Give him a shout out for honoring him tonight. Condolences to the Bold family as well as the whole everybody as a whole that may be suffering from that loss.
Very classy gesture from the Wasatch Legion. One of the many things that makes them one of the best supporter groups in the USL.
Their numbers may not always be huge, but man alive, do they create some incredible TIFOs and create some great messages. Bold look to be the aggressor. See if they can take advantage of this here in the 77th. Taylor to Phillips. Kleber here. Tierpak. Tierpak gonna go forward. Tierpak running at the defense. Vasquez gets wide. Defends McFarland. McFarland, many step overs. Vasquez does a nice job to defend that and give him credit as he stood waiting for the fancy footwork to be played away.
Break.
Mulholland. Pass from Sam Brown. He'll get it wide to Jack Blake. Jack Blake, after that penalty kick, really hasn't looked like the same player. Love for him to get into the mix. Ball played inside the box. Calmly collected by Restrepo.
He's one of those guys that when the Monarchs have a lot of success, they're finding Jack Blake in really good pockets of space, and he's playing fantastic balls on the switch or in behind the back line. So he just needs to see more of the ball tonight. And it's just been such a weird game with the tempo and the energy of the game. And I believe Jack Blake he hasn't gotten the ball in the right areas to make things happen.
This is one of those games that you still feel like's not done. We went through high energy for a few, slowed down in the last few, and like I've talked about, it's really been that staccato pace. Choppy at best, moments of glory, moments of greatness to moments of just slow and not a whole lot. Phillips gonna get it wide again. Phillips has legs. Hasso there and clears it out of play. It'll be a corner kick coming for the Bold.
Once again, Phillips and Tierpak are having their way on this left side of the field with Steve Yasso right now. He isn't really getting much help from Chang, but Steve Yasso has to open his mouth and communicate to Chang and his back line right now.
Stress level is starting to rise for both sides as 3 points could be vital for both these sides. Moving forward, 79th minute. Shouldn't jump in a whole 10 minutes. Corner kick taken from Baez inside the box, cleared temporarily, but towards the back post. Mulholland's gonna lob it forward. It'll go out of play. The Monarchs are gonna get their lines forward. Final substitution coming for the Monarchs here shortly. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Lima gets it wide. Hasso cuts that off. Hasso plays a big ball forward. Trying to find Chang. It was almost in between Chang and Coffey. Throwing quickly for the Bold. Tierpak. Jack Blake's now sitting higher. When that last substitution happened, we failed to mention Mulholland and Brown sitting alongside each other, with Jack Blake sitting where Arriaga was. Needs to get some touches on the ball.
I think Jack Blake might have some heavy legs. He's played a lot of minutes in the last few weeks, and you're starting to see Kyle Coffey. He's doing a lot of the running for Jack defensively right now, which I'm absolutely fine with, because Jack has played a lot of minutes this season.
Ball wide, Baez. Clips it forward. Not a great ball. Frustration there from the Bold. A few players yelling at each other. Vasquez will cut in. Plays it to Hasso. Picks up his head and finds Chang here in front of the Monarchs bench. Chang to Holtz. Now Noah Powder. Mulholland's out wide of him. Powder cuts in, still has it at its feet. Plays it wide to Mulholland. Mulholland back to Powder, 2 in front of him. So he'll pull back, then cut inside. Finds Jack Blake. Ryden clips the ball up in the air. Over to Hasso. Hasso waiting for Chang's run to develop. Big switch there from Michael Chang to Mulholland. Heads it over to Powder. Possession, but can the final product be on goal? Takes a big deflection there as Vasquez takes that one off the chest. Ooh, nice open and turn there from Tierpak. He opens up the Monarchs and starts the counter. Lima wide. Scott DeMar Phillips behind him. He'll play it back to Phillips. Takes a deflection. It'll be a Austin throw in.
And Austin's absolutely fine with slowing down this game in the last 10 minutes. They just need this 1 point, this draw, to get into the playoffs. So don't be surprised to see them kill as much time as they can, Landon, so they can get out of here on the road with a point.
First substitution appearance for Tate Schmidt this season. 13 games played, 13 starts. He'll enter the match here in the 83rd.
And as I just said, that you see Serrano telling his guys, hey, slow things down. Let's kill the clock. Let's get out of Zion's Bank, which is a very tough place to play with a point.
And a point would be that magic number like we talked about. Monarchs looking for the magic number of 3, not to clinch the playoffs, but 3 is that all-important number for them right now as their level. But as any situation, you never want to lose at home, so keeping it level or going up would be the goal. Big throw incoming. Played short. Played back in the box. The flag was up. Offside on the near, or excuse me, on this near side. Gonna push the ball to the corner. 12 shots, 5 on goal for the Monarchs. 9 shots, 2 on goal for the Bold. Ball forward. Headed by Austin. Sam Brown does a nice job to keep that one in the Monarchs' possession.
Well done, Tupac. Well done.
Conrad Plua, who's been a solid center back for the Monarchs this season, out with a red card. It's Coffey's going to go inside the box. He'll take a shot, and that one had some swerve, putting it right at Restrepo, and Restrepo able to react and push it wide.
And when you mention Conrad Plua, you also can't forget he's got the goal of the year so far for the Monarchs.
Bicycle kick. But Conrad Plua, the Monarchs have only lost 3 games when he's played in 17 games. You have to wonder if his absence tonight is causing some challenge for this side. Corner kick for the Monarchs. Noah Powder's going to step out. Crowd up on their feet. Noah Powder is going to play it in with the left foot. Ball played in, can't beat the first guy. Sam Brown gets it back to Jack Blake. Out wide to Schmidt. Schmidt in towards Holt. Holt had a player up along his arms. There's a shoving match going on. As it looks like Kleber kicked up. Our center referee trying to sort things out. As he's going to show a straight red to not sure who he showed it to.
I believe it has to be Kleber.
That guy punched my guy. Come on.
But a straight red shown, 6 reds now shown for our center referee in 41 games.
What did he get red to? Hey, Irma, why don't...
Because I'm not...
Still, we see here in the replay, as the play goes on.
Give the game to the other team.
I think it was the kick out.
Give the game to the other team. Just give the game. Hey, the game is yours.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest here and say that is a red card, but Austin's doing a great job at killing the clock right now, and they just need 1 point here, Landon. They're killing the clock. They're taking their time. They're arguing. We're in the 87th minute now. I mean, for as much time as they're gonna waste, that much time will not be added. They don't want to see a player leave the field, but they are killing a lot of time right now with this situation.
So Kleber's going to walk to the bench. Not sure where he's...
You can see the 4th official is telling them Kleber needs to leave the field, but I think Kleber knows the situation, and he's wasting as much time as he can.
Walks to the bench. Spends an extra 3 minutes heading that way. I mean, it feels like it's been plenty of time. There's going to be a lot of stoppage time left in this one.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
But a free kick coming for Diego Restrepo. And this game has crawled to a slow pace. 88th minutes, all level 2-2. Restrepo. Headed. And Ryden will collect. Tune into ESPN3 Saturday, October 19th at 1 p.m. for a special game of the week to close out the 2019 season. A home playoff match is at stake when the Monarchs host Sacramento Republic FC. The winner hosts a playoff match while the loser potentially goes to the play-in game. Catch all the drama Saturday, October 19th at 1 p.m. on ESPN3. 89th minutes. Monarchs up a man as Kleber was sent off moments ago. Chang inside the box. Mulholland. No one in front. Sam Brown shot off the woodwork! And he just clobbered the crossbar. Now Diego Restrepo's down.
What an absolute hammer from Sam Brown there.
And Restrepo was up fine, then goes to pitch.
I believe the altitude might have gotten him landed. It's been a long night for him. I believe an experienced player, I think the altitude has gotten to him.
As we're now entering the 90th minute, stoppage time will be announced here shortly. Can't imagine there's not going to be 5 or 6 at this point. Restrepo still down. Hamas Nalhave asking how much time will be added. We mentioned Monarchs 15, 10, and 7 on the season, 52 points. One more point tonight. Still keeps him in that same position. As Fresno's clear of the Monarchs by a few points. Restrepo now up. Taylor getting some water. It'll be a free kick for the Bold. I think we're going to get the board of stoppage time announced here shortly. Maybe not. They're still trying to determine how much time is going to be added. It's like communication between our center referee and fourth official.
He gave a red card because of talk.
So the board is going to come up. We'll let you know how much time will be added. Sam Brown, 4 minutes of stoppage. 5 minutes of stoppage. As Coffey's fouled. Excuse me, it's knocked out of play and it'll be a throw-in. Mulholland.
And now when you look at Kleber's red card, you look at Restrepo going down, you're going to say that was much more than 5 minutes. And great work from those two guys to waste as much time as they did, because the Monarchs are very hard done with 5 minutes only being added.
Both teams feel like they've been hard done all night. Is Lima able to climb the ladder there? Sam Brown playing it forward to Mulholland. Taylor's going to cut it off. He'll play it back to Restrepo. Heavy touch there by Restrepo. My goodness, that almost turned into a glorious opportunity for the Monarchs. Mulholland in the corner. He'll wait for someone to come and take the throw in. Hasso. Back to Holtz. Holt picks up his head. Plays the ball inside the box. Ryden's there, back post. What is... I'm not sure what just happened there. Restrepo goes attacking after Ryden.
The altitude has gotten to Restrepo. I am telling you.
As Restrepo's now on the ground again.
The altitude has gotten to him.
I think Ryden's going to see yellow.
Hey, man, this guy sucks, dude. This guy sucks. Oh, my goodness.
Restrepo's now up again. As yellow card
see here in
shown.
the replay, Kalen Ryan, he goes up legally to win that ball. He does not put any elbows out there. He doesn't put anything out there. He collides with Restrepo, who has been struggling with the altitude tonight, and Restrepo takes offense to it.
Give him a jersey, you know?
Restrepo's now back down.
Pega a camisa do Real Salt Lake e dá pra ele. Fala com ele, fala com ele.
So we're 3 minutes unofficially into this match. I think Serrano is going to get tossed.
Chicken shit.
You lost control of the game, brother. Hey.
Serrano's night's done, and he'll head to the locker room. As he taunts fans on the way in. Restrepo's back up. I'm not sure time-wise how much we're going to continue to see. You got to imagine we haven't played much of this stoppage time.
How long we're gonna play? One more. 1 minute more. Yeah, I know. One boy, let's go. Come on, Emma.
As Restrepo's going to take.
You give this 5 minutes. Now we want to play 1 minute? No, I want more than the 5.
It's our fourth official giving some words to Hamas and Olave. Yellow cards shown to Diego Restrepo and Kalen Ryden. Restrepo will take the restarts. Crowd getting antsy here. As Brown shoved slightly. Hasso able to battle, wins the free kick, takes it quickly. Monarchs have to have some urgency here, as you're not sure how much time's even on the clocks. Unofficially, we say on the screen 4 minutes.
I don't know how much time's left. I don't know who's left in the game right now, Landon. I do not know what is happening.
David, as a player, these games happen. Ball played inside the box, headed away, kept in by Mulholland. Looked to be a handball, nothing called. Ryden gets it wide to Chang. Chang sizes up the defense, cuts in, finds Hasso. Hasso tries to play it in. It'll be a corner kick coming for the Monarchs.
30 seconds,
As we're unofficially have about 15 seconds or so left. But I'm not a whole ton sure what's really left. As Noah Powder will step out to take the corner kick. Late drama here in Harriman, Utah at Zions Bank Stadium. Noah Powder with the corner kick. Cleared away. Mulholland heads it over. Jack Blake to Sam Brown. Trying to recycle to find numbers. Blake plays it out wide to Mulholland. Mulholland numbers forward inside the box. Can't beat the defense. Tate Smith. You gotta love his battle. As he battles with Tierpak. Holtz over to Powder. Out wide to Mulholland. He falls to the pitch, able to recover. Sam Brown to Holtz. Hasso plays it in. Big ball. Chang keeps it in. Tries to play it forward to Blake. Blake keeps the ball alive. Powder clips it into the box. Looking back post. Tate Schmitz puts it wide of frame. And that's going to be the final whistle, as we're going to end this one level 2-2. After 90 minutes and some stoppage time, a red card, a coach tossed, a PK saved, and a couple goals.
One of the more unusual games I believe we have called this year, Landon, with the pace, the energy of the game, and then all of a sudden at the end of the game, everything picks up. It's 2-2. Coaches are getting thrown out. Players are getting thrown out. But the Monarchs, if you want to be ready for the playoffs, you have to learn to deal with ugly games like this. I know you have heavy legs. You've played a lot of games in a very limited amount of time, but you have to come out and you have to look like you want to win this game, because games could get to be very ugly in the playoffs, and that could happen.
And one of the things that we have to say is congratulations officially to Austin Bold, as they have clinched a playoff spot. here in the 2019 season. But not without some drama there at the end. And you can only imagine the fallout maybe from that situation. I'm not sure how everything's going to play out, but you hope that that doesn't carry into their next game.
I don't think Austin expected to come on the road and get a point here at Zions Bank, but like you said, congratulations to them for getting into the playoffs tonight.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with final thoughts and close things up here at Zions Bank Stadium. 2-2 draw between these two sides. America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. Tonight's match is presented by Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit steward.org. Mountain America, start preparing for your future today with Picture Perfect savings accounts from Mountain America. They offer term deposits, youth accounts, retirement savings, and more. Visit macu.com. For banking that always puts the best team on the pitch, Zions Bank is for you.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker. I got this.
That's why you use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy. So Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
For the past 42 years, and with over 28 million sold, more people have put their hard-earned money on a Ford F-Series truck than any other pickup in America. Yeah, I'd say that's money well spent. It's Ford Truck Month, America. Time to join the stampede.
Now get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 financing plus 1,000 trade assist cash, or get over $13,000 in total savings.
Welcome into the beautiful Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman City. Brody inside the 18. Brody shot and goal! Andrew Brody.
Blake takes the shot and he hammered it home.
Level after 90 minutes, 2-2 draw between Austin Bold FC and the Real Monarchs, and an exciting, crazy, weird game that felt like something was going to continue to happen. I thought more goals would happen, but we saw more cards, coach get tossed, and kind of a little bit of madness at the end.
Definitely one of the more unusual games that we've been a part of this year. With the way that game started, the goal early on, absolutely no energy from both sides for what they have at stake. And then, like you said, fireworks at the end of the game tonight. Now, can the Monarchs, can they regroup after this game? They have a couple days rest as they go into the weekend. They need to get those 3 points to get a home playoff game here at Zions Bank Stadium.
Give massive credit to Austin Bold. They did what they needed to do. They came in, needed a points, and were able to get that points and walk away now knowing that they have the proverbial monkey off their back and can play a little looser in their final game.
Like you said, they did what they had to do. It was not pretty, but sometimes that's what it takes. You grind out results. You do whatever it takes, whether it's wasting a ridiculous amount of time with antics at the end of the game. They did it. It worked, and they got their point. They're into the playoffs, and that's what matters for them.
And every time they went down, they were able to equalize right back. I know there's going to be frustration from the Monarchs side as they felt like that game was probably theirs throughout the game, going up twice, only to be equalized and a missed PK.
They're going to have, as they go into the playoffs here in the next week, they're going to have to fix those mental letdowns after they score goals, because that could really come back to haunt them in the playoffs.
So we'll check out upcoming schedule as we look forward to the playoffs. Only a game remaining for the Monarchs, as you can see, on October 19th, Saturday, 1 p.m., right here on ESPN+, on ESPN3, as that's the game of the week. But should be a good one. And then the playoffs. Monarchs are in. Wins that next game, wins that next opportunity. It'll probably be that following weekend, but it'll be Saturday or Sunday. Still to be determined depending on where the Monarchs fall. But David, final thoughts for the Monarchs. What needs to be done to make sure they continue the momentum they had the past 3 games, and maybe some good takeaways from tonight?
They need to get everybody some rest. Take a day off tomorrow, get everybody healthy, get everybody rested, and go into this weekend firing on all cylinders with your starting lineup. Obviously, there's been guys away on international duty. There's been guys injured. But can they get everybody ready for this weekend, get them going, and gain that momentum as they go into that first playoff game? They have to put in a good result this weekend. You don't want to have a bad result as you go into the playoffs.
From our wonderful production crew that makes this possible, David Horsheim, Landon South, we say thank you for tuning in here on ESPN+. We'll catch you this Saturday on ESPN3 for the Monarchs regular season finale against Sacramento FC. 1 p.m. kick on ESPN3. We'll catch you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League